Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be in the world. Welcome back to the start, I believe, of the Sunday block of matches here in the round of 16 for 4-digit World Cup 2025. We have a matchup here between the 29th seeded team Saudi Arabia facing off against the 20th seed in Team Netherlands in this losers bracket matchup. Winner moves on to losers round 2. The winner gets eliminated from this year's iteration of 4-digit World Cup. My name is Tweakin3. I'll be joined in this cast alongside BlankTap. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. I've been, casting a bit non-stop right now, but no rest for the wicked and no rest for these players as well. It's action time. Saudi Arabia, plenty doubt they'll even qualify, and yet there they are here. Bit of a shame that they did they FF around the around 32 match?
Yeah, they unfortunately, I don't know what happened scheduling-wise there, but they did end up FFing their match versus Team Canada, so no information on the round of 32 from them. Meanwhile, the Netherlands, they managed to take 1 point off of Singapore last weekend, but ultimately fell 5-1, as we do get to see, the roles, the pick orders and the ban orders, and we are going to be seeing Saudi Arabia opting for for the first pick. And with Netherlands opting for second ban, it also means they're going to be getting the first ban here in this best of 9.
Starting off, this map will definitely much more similar in terms of shape and what it will be when compared to the qual. So seeding actually matters a tiny bit more. That's for sure. We will have generally kind of similar information if we just see their stats on the qualifiers and how they did in it. For now, though, it's going to be Saudi Arabia's first ban.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia first ban. Just looking off the qualifiers pool, I'd expect something like a DT ban coming out from Saudi Arabia, potentially like a DT2. The Netherlands did perform quite well on the DT2 in qualifiers. Whether or not, it's the exact same skill set, I'm not the one to make that determination, because I quite literally did not look, I've never looked at this qualifiers pool, so unsure on that regards, but at the very least, Saudi Arabia does, at least in terms of qualifiers, appear to be lacking on, some of, like, this DT tapping, or maybe just, like, tapping in general. So I'm interested to see, what they do end up banning. They're taking their sweet time with this one, though.
Absolutely, a very important phase, that's for sure.
Yeah, they do end up banning the hidden too.
Yeah, I mean, the lack of a 4-man roster in the side of Saudi Arabia for Hidden 2, definitely not a map that you really want to see a hyper carry performance on, because Netherlands, they got pretty decent squad, at least for that map in particular.
Yeah, for sure. I look at the Netherlands team, and there is one name on that team that stands out for low approach rate hidden, or just hidden in general. So take that off the board. Don't let their hyper carry on the gimmicky hidden maps play it. And Saudi Arabia, or the Netherlands, opting to ban out the Hard Rock 1 versus Saudi Arabia. Not particularly interested in playing some of this, not necessarily like generic aim, but still some like relatively simple aim in the Hard Rock pool. But it leaves a lot in this pool left open, and interesting. It leaves a wide variety of pick strategies open here. Saudi Arabia, with that Hard Rock 1 ban from the Netherlands, could opt into some of the more aim heavy maps potentially. Whereas Netherlands probably will opt to pick more into some of the more gimmicky picks. I'm looking into something like, you know, a Fremont 2, maybe even a Fremont 3, perhaps.
That does make quite a bit of sense, but yeah, this is I don't really know too much of the potential stark contrast between these two teams. I do know that Saudi Arabia has these three very threatening players that I would assume to be permanently in the lobby, and their fourth would be the flex. But they're gonna start with a no mod 4. Oh boy.
Oh god, it's True Novel by Yunosuke. This is such a fun map to play. It is.
Oh yeah.
It is a very typical, you know, Nuge Wheat collab on, you know, basically just a typical Nuge style tech map. So fun to play, but can be incredibly difficult with, you know, the amount of, you know, slider aim that's required, some of the flow aim as well. As a lot of like Axel stream patterns on 175 DPM has tripped up a lot of players, you know, in this tournament. And with how low seeded these teams are, you know, this is going to be one of those contested picks.
Man, this map is like it's funny in a way, because there's only the two parts that will make or break a person's score. First part is like on the first KA, second of course on the second. But yeah, very tricky. I think quad stack stream into a doubles long stream. Long slider, and then there's a triple into the fourth circle being a bus slider. If you're not ready for that, that is slider break material 10 out of 10 times. So hoping for this play. I mean, this map is very well known. I don't think any of these players do not know what entails in this map.
Hey, all I'm saying, this map is currently nominated for, you know, Project Loved, so, you know, we're gonna see in the Loved section sooner or later, but...
What is this background?
It's only a, you know, slightly edited background of the original. I'm not going to go into any particular drama.
I think I know the lore. I think I know the lore. The lore. Those who know. Those who know. That is insane. What a retaliation. But nonetheless, I guess we should focus on the match. God, that background. What a jump scare.
Dude, the editing and Photoshop for this is insane. As we see Rikira, Call Me Red, Zermacat, Eyes Never Open here for Team Saudi Arabia, Manyavat, Knight, Katie G-Star, and UC2 in for Team Netherlands here on Saudi Arabia's first pick here.
First part, nothing too notable, but some of those very, very tricky extending string, and Katie G-Star will be the first one to be the victim of said stream.
Yeah, they might have found a drop on the first stream, but Eyes Never Open does trade it shortly after. It's 3 FCs to 3 for both sides. Another break coming out from Eyes Never Open, though. That supporting combo gone for Team Saudi Arabia. As we get into this kind of first big slider aim section, Zoomercat, Rikuria, and Knight going down. It's just breaks all throughout this section, but at the end of this first, you know, drop section here, it's Call Me Red, Manyavat, and UC2. No, never mind, UC2 found a drop when I wasn't paying attention. It's 1 FC to 1, and it's just players trying to build up those recovery combos. A very slight advantage to Team Netherlands halfway through this map.
One survivor from each team after that very threatening spike. But here comes the second soon enough. Which one of them will last longer? This is anyone's game as Knight finds a miss into the extending streams now. Lots of pressure on both of these players into the long slider. The slider pick will be there to haunt you, but Manyavat finds a slider break somewhere else. Call Me Red still sitting comfortably at a 98.8% accuracy.
No, that was Bancho. Okay,
well,
the first pick for Manyavat was Bancho. This one, I think, is a real breakthrough for Manyavat, though. The drop... The supporting combo from Katie has also been dropped, and it's Call Me Red Rikuria versus just UC2 now. UC2 down at 92.57%. If this guy was able to read No Mod better than his hidden, you know, this would be such a good performance for UC2, but unfortunately just finding a lot of struggles on the accuracy, tanking his score quite considerably, and it's the Call Me Red show here. 98.87% on this full combo still as we get into this final Ki here. And the first pick for Saudi Arabia was looking a little bit sketchy at the start, but with this insurmountable lead BlankTap, I think this is a solid first pick for the Saudi Arabian squad.
Absolutely, and it's Call Me Red to cue it all, that's for sure. However, I actually kind of expected 3BDU to come in as well. Don't tell me he's not here.
Regardless if he's here or not, a very solid performance from Team Saudi Arabia. The 98.85% full combo from Call Me Red to finish it off. A very solid supporting score from Rikuria, 565k, 1 slider break. And overall, decent performance from Team Saudi Arabia. Some rough scores from, their third and fourth players, but at the end of the day, they match, their counterparts from, the Netherlands squad enough, and, the FC unmatched for Team Saudi Arabia gives them a relatively comfortable first point victory in this matchup.
And now it's time for Netherlands to get on the controller, because it is their first pick. Looking at the team selection here, I think they can go for, like as you said, slightly lackluster performance of the third and fourth players. So Netherlands, as long as they can go for those consistent, potentially consistency battle picks, they can absolutely outscore Saudi Arabia no matter what Call Me Red do. So that's probably like the way that should go for it, and they're gonna go for Nomad 5.
This is an interesting one. I have to see what the Nomad 5 in qualifiers was.
Okay, there was no Nomad 5, no worries.
No, there was a Nomad 5 in qualifiers. However, it was not a speed map, so nothing to be gleaned. Nothing to be gleaned from the qualifier results here. But this Nomad 5, the Agony by Irreversible Mechanism. This is just 3.5 minutes of just pure 230 BPM shred.
Yep, that's all. No, it's just full-blown streams. And however, I'm sure, there will be some complaints in the map for feedback. It will be a bus slider maps, somehow, some way. Because indeed, bus sliders after every end of those tricky streams, so you gotta control your fingers, ladies and gents.
Yeah. This is definitely going to be one of those maps where, the speed players are going to call this an A map. They're going to find a way to, miss on a 2-star jump in the middle of the map. That's just how this type of map goes. I'm interested to see how the Netherlands perform on this. Because recall the qualifiers, the Netherlands actually, I believe, performed decently well on, the DT2, and I do believe the DT2 in qualifiers was actually a tapping map. So hopefully, their tapping skills, from qualifiers, are able to translate into this pick. We do see Not Mage subbing in for Team Saudi Arabia this time, as we have the trio from Nomad 4 still in for this one. Meanwhile, pretty much, actually not pretty much, it's only a 2-player swap. Dolter and Draconia coming in for Team Netherlands on this Nomad 5 pick.
And now already, let's get right into the pure content of this map. It's triple spam, ladies and gentlemen. Rikira finding the first miss, and now it's a 3v4 right off the bat.
You can just kind of see how uncomfortable, Team Saudi Arabia is on this. Not Mage drops another full combo, down at 94%. Rikuria, struggling on the accuracy as well, 92%. Everybody on Team Netherlands looking pretty solid, and Draconia the only player down under that 98%, but Otherwise, everybody else looking solid as we get through that beginning intro section into some of these jumps here.
Here we go, long stream ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Alerta, the long stream Call Me Red does find the mess. You know, it's only Eyes Never Open to clutch it up against 3 giants inside of Netherlands. G-Star, Knight, and Dolter does not seem to be showing any signs of weakness. But Dolter definitely slowly but surely getting tired though.
Yeah, it looks like they found a little bit of an under tap, little bit of over tapping on some of these streams, looking a little bit more uncomfortable on some of these longer, stream patterns. So probably you're going to find a break soon from them. But KDD Star Knight still looking ever so solid on this one. Eyes Never Open, trying their best to keep this within reach. And if all of those full combos from the Team Netherlands break and Eyes Never Open, holds, it can still be doable. There is a slider break from Knight on some of those kick sliders, so that is one of those big FCs down. Call Me Red, building up a supporting combo for Eyes Never Open. The accuracy suffering a little bit from Call Me Red, but, as long as the combo's there is still hope as Dolter finds a break on the FC, but Eyes Never Open shakes off on that one, and I think this one is over.
Yeah, man, nothing much you can really do here. Draconia still with the recovery. Coming Red matching him, but KT G-Star is indeed shining quite bright, that's for sure. And with the score lead at 400k going to this last purely stream section, Call Me Red will fall, and Draconia with G-Star going on strong.
I mean, this is just a really solid performance from Team Netherlands. They got, I believe it was like number 5 or something on the qualifiers DT2, and that tapping prowess is showing very nicely here. The FC's still intact for KD Star. The very solid supporting recovery combo from Draconia is all but insurmountable at this point. The score lead over 800,000. There's just nothing, the Saudi Arabian roster can do against, the might of the Netherlands speed roster. Dolter might be down to 86%, might be at, 260k score. But at the end of the day, oh no, what did KD Star find a break on at the ending? Oh, that's so tragic. Not going to close it out with the FC, but that is a million score lead for Team Netherlands on this No Mod 5. And I think a very solid pick strategy now in order for Team Netherlands.
Absolutely, and it does seem that we're gonna go back to Saudi Arabia's pick, and they're probably gonna pick another very skill cap, very 50-50 heavy map to kind of prevent Netherlands to have that solid core of 4 players,
Yeah, for sure. Interested to see what, Saudi Arabia does go for here. There's not really anything left in the pool that, is like a true tech map. The closest thing, I could think of in terms of just tech, or even slightly remotely, techie would be that Fremont 3 Hyena.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how comfortable, players on Team Saudi Arabia are on, the mods for that map though. So there's a good chance we might just see a massive curveball coming out from the Saudis here.
Nonetheless, very difficult situation nonetheless. There was an earthquake directed at my table. What the hell happened?
Might have shook off a few too many notes on that No Mod 5.
That's fair, that's
unfortunate.
And they're gonna go for number 3. Once again, there was very high skill cap, very easy to miss kind of map, where Saudi Arabia trying to break off Netherlands core roster here. Let's see how it will go.
Yeah, Mimicry Man by Wanuka. This is a custom map for this tournament, map by Songhack. 140 BPM snap alt map, but I mean, this is you see a lot of, like, snap alt style Nomad 3s, in recent years. This is definitely, like, the type of alt map that has become, synonymous with tournament play over the past, like 2 years. But there is a little bit of a reading element to this map. There are patterns that, look like they should be, 1/4 snap divisors, but end up being, end up having, 1/2, break between the tapping. So, and this map has tripped up many players in that regard, throughout this map over this weekend. We'll have to see how well these players fare on, this map.
Bit of trolling, and that's just part of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Interested to see, because, alt is one of those skill sets that, it can be really difficult to be consistent on, especially, with the wide variety of patterning that, that exists, in in these different types of alt maps. So we'll have to see how well these players do, as we do see yet another roster swap here for Team Saudi Arabia, as I do believe this is the first time we're going to be seeing Zoomercat in for this one. And Team Netherlands going back to their roster from Nomad 4 as Manyavat UC2 come back in for this Nomad 3 pick.
And here we go right into the match.
Three minutes and 46 seconds on this one, so, decently lengthy, but nothing, too insurmountable. I should also mention, some of these, star patterns look a little bit annoying to play as well, as we do see early drops from KDE Star and Zoomercat at the end of this intro, getting into this first verse section here.
Yeah, I can assure you, it is indeed annoying. I can tell you that much. Very easy to miss, and G-Star finds that, indeed. Zoomercat as well, a 3v3 to start ourselves off in Saudi Arabia's pick. Oh, miss from Rikuya though.
Yeah, another full combo down for Saudi Arabia. Zoomercat losing the supporting combo as well, and there goes Eyes Never Open, finding a slider break right at the start of this first KI section. It's still 3 FCs in the recovery combo from KDE Star, holding strong for Team Netherlands. They're going to get the early lead in this map.
So far, so good indeed. Kamiret, however, is holding still such a insane threat on the battlefield. But Zoomercat and Rikira finding yet again more misses. Manyavat, UC2 and Knight holding so strong right now, and they are looking so solid.
Call Me Red all on his lonesome. The supporting combo from Eyes Never Open drops. The KDE Star drops their supporting combo for Team Netherlands, but if you're rooting for, the Saudi Arabian team, that's not the break you want to see. The 3 FCs still intact for Knight, Manyavat, UC2. There goes 2 of them, though, on that pattern. Knight, Manyavat breaking on the same pattern. UC2, the only FC left for the side of Team Netherlands, down at 96.8%. Call Me Red trying their damnedest to keep this map close. 99.79% full combo on this so far, looking very impressive halfway through, but without any real support from his team, it's just not going to matter unless UC2 finds a break sooner or later.
Still waiting for a mistake, but UC2 not the kind of person to fumble this. Especially going to the slow section. Call Me Red once again looking for nooks and crannies, any kind of cracks that he can abuse. Saudi Arabia is relying on it and him alone. Can he become once again the hero that they need?
Yeah, he needs to be the hero. There is actually some good supporting combo being built back up on the Saudi Arabian side. It's just, I think Team Saudi Arabia needs to see the UC2 break, and there it is! It's a triple break from Saudi Arabia, but crucially, Call Me Red is still holding on to that full combo. That score lead will go heavily back in favor of Saudi Arabia as we get into the end of this map. Manyavat drops their large combo as well. It's all eyes on Call Me Red as we get into the final quarter of this map. BlankTap, is there enough time for Call Me Red to do this?
There is time, but Netherlands running it down. 150k difference still. Trying to hold on, but call me red. Unable to withstand the pressure. The diamond has been crushed, and I don't think Saudi Arabia has any hope left in this number 3. What a shame. He was right there. He had it, but Netherlands kind of waited it out. And they managed to survive the Call Me Red onslaught. This will be a breakpoint.
Valiant effort from Call Me Red on this one, but at the end of the day, 395,000 score lead, that's just not something Call Me Red alone, even with an FC, would have been able to bring it back. KDE Star and Knight holding on to some very good combos, at the end of that map to, actually widen the score lead. And yeah, Call Me Red just trying to one-man carry, but unfortunately just not enough. And yeah, like you said, BlankTap, early breakpoint for the Netherlands squad, and if No Odd 5 was any indication of Team Saudi Arabia's tapping skills, I'd go straight into a DT1 or a DT2 pick from here.
That is unquestionable, I feel. DT1 definitely with slightly more tame, but DT2 is undeniably what I will go for instantly. I think that's their best pick in this current moment.
Yeah, for sure. Very finger control heavy. Lots of doubles, triples, quads, quints, even some 6-note bursts in that map. Kind of alternates a lot, And again, like I said, if qualifiers DT2 is any indication, I think this would be relatively fair game for Team Netherlands here to bring them up a very early 3-1 in this match.
That is true, but I suppose we do need to wait until they actually say it, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is a fair point. I'm just interested to see, what else, is on the table here, No Odd 3 ended up going a lot more in their favor than, I would have probably expected. So, possible that, we get into something like the Fremont 3, which is what they are going to end up picking. Hyena by Homarju on the YF's Legendaria difficulty. If you know YF BMP maps, this is a YF BMP map.
Yeah, it's certainly his map. Oh my god, it was so annoying trying to learn the stacking in the middle of the map. That's going to be the make or break point. The rest, easy free combo. But that one part is what separates you from getting 300k and a whole million. Lucas, stop your attack, my bad.
Yo, my bad.
I didn't know. You're just theory crafting,
I'm just theory crafting.
Oh man.
Hey, it's our job to theory craft up
True. For now though, we're just gonna chill until we see some action. This map though, I mean, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I won't be surprised if you see like 3 hiddens on 1 hot rocks, because this map is so hard to read on Nomad.
Yeah, I can imagine. CS 2.8, AR 9.5, but like you mentioned, BlankTap, some of the stacks in this map are they're a bit comical to say the least. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the free mod rules of this tournament, at least 3 players on each team need to take a mod. At least 1 player needs to be on hidden or easy, another player required to be on the hard rock or the hidden hard rock, and then obviously the 3rd player taking some combination of hidden hard rock or easy, as we finally do get to see 3B do in this lobby. BlankTap here concerned he might not be here. I think those concerns can be put away now.
Alright, 3B Do is in the tier and he is cheering for red. Red go red. Alright, we got the set bonus systems.
Yeah, Call Me Red, 3B Do, accompanied by Zoomercat and Rikeria. And kind of again for Team Netherlands, the gimmick roster for them coming out again, the same four that have been in for, No Mod 4, No Mod 3, back in for this Free Mod 3 pick, as we do see Zubercat actually subbing out for Eyes Never Open. Last second roster swaps here, but I do believe everything is set. And I'm interested to see the mod combinations that these teams take for this Free Mod 3 pick. Here we go. It is going to be double hidden, double hard rock for Team Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Double hidden, double hard. Oh, a hidden hard rock, actually. Triple hard rock for the side of Team Saudi Arabia. The overmod. The overmod also for Team Netherlands. Knight going hidden hard rock. UC2 on the hidden. Obviously so. Manivat on the hard rock. And KDE Star on the no mod for Team Netherlands here. Netherlands trying to consolidate. Oh, wait, no, that isn't easy. No, you're so right. Yeah, that isn't easy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how UC2 does on this. The UC2 is the type of player that would take easy on this, though.
Yeah, definitely. But Manivat will be the first one to miss. Eyes Never Open. We're going to trade. It's a 3v3, but the multiplayer for Netherlands. And oh boy, that is big boy multiplayer here. But here comes the stacking, catching 3v2 and Rikira off guard. It's only Call Me Red right now. And the doubles coming is a bit of a pattern here. Does anyone remember? Saudi Arabia does not. But UC2 and Knight is there. Oh my days.
I mean, this is just this is just a slaughter here from Netherlands. Knight holding on to the 90% FC. UC2 drops the easy full combo, but honestly, pretty much has the same score as Knight for all intents and purposes. The easy multiplier on this map is 2.8. It basically take that score UC2 has and pretty much just triple it for the most part. Yeah. And yeah, this is obscene.
The score is like the second highest in the lobby.
Yeah.
Not like, I mean, UC2 can even stop playing right now. They have 600k lead. This is...
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, this is the map of all time.
Yeah. Knight does drop the FC, and to Saudi Arabia's credit, they have built up some recovery combos back on Call Me Red and Rikiria, but, I mean, what do you do when you have UC2 basically on a 1SB, easy choke on this with a 3 times basically easy multiplier on this? Like, there's just nothing you can really do on this. Practice pays off. He pulls it off.
He reached 900k. Who made the easy multiplier? Ban that man. What? That is free money. What? Okay.
Yeah. That is an 800. If after the easy multiplier is accounted for, that is an 882,000.
Okay, dude.
Score.
Okay.
882,224 score there from UC2 on that Free Mod 3, and the easy gambit, it pays off massively for the Team Netherlands there. Easily by far the top score. These aren't even like bad scores from, Call Me Red, Rikiria, and 3v2. I don't remember what Eyes Never Open score was on that, but what do you do when UC2 basically pulls off, a no-mod FC score with easy?
She'll play it easy. That's a shame. Like, bro. Okay. When like the host is giving out 3 times multiplier, you will be dumb to not take it. So, ladies and gentlemen, practice easy, that's for sure. Oh my god, man. That's insane though, 880k! Like, the second highest was what? 620 or something?
Something like that. I think it was like a 611 from Knight, yeah.
Yeah, oh my god. And now, it's back to Saudi Arabia's pick. And looking at the remaining slots here, there's just nothing much of those quote-unquote RNG pick. Hidden one might be a method, but they already banned hidden too. I don't think they really like the hidden map pool all that much.
Nah, especially with what UC2 did to them on the Free Mod 3. Like, the hidden one is such a UC2 type of map that, and like, UC2 might be a very good easy player, but he is very solid on, hidden flow as well. They're gonna go for the hard rock to Mugen no Hikari by Terra, backed by Kodama here. Very awkward, aim precision, but has a lot of cut patterns of this that can trip people up. It's a very good map, though. I'm excited to see this, played in Hard Rock here. I'm interested to see, how well, these teams do on this. Saudi Arabia in qualifiers actually did have, the number 8, Hard Rock 2 score out of, all of the teams that did play their qualifiers. So give them respect. They are a very good Hard Rock precision team. The Netherlands not nearly performing as well on, on the precision Hard Rock and qualifiers, comparatively speaking. So this could be an option here for, Saudi Arabia to get another point on the board and hopefully bridge that gap.
It's going to be a consistency test nonetheless. Qualifiers slightly more on the mechanic side. None of 32, especially on the mechanic side with those bursts and 1/3. Your finger control alongside the ability to stay stable while doing whatever tapping the map gives you. But this one, it's slow, it's calm, it's purely just aim. You and you alone responsible for your own consistency. There's not much spike probably on the last KI, which is the third one, but other than that, should be a guaranteed 600k if you play your cards right.
Yeah, for sure. This map gives me like, YF, precision map vibes, unironically. So, I guess it kind of falls in a similar vein to, the Free Mod 3 we just played. Obviously, not the exact same map, and, and stylistically, very different song, but, like, you think of something, oh, what is that? There's always a prominent, like, precision map that gets pulled in, like low 4 digits, high 5 digits. It's like 3 minutes long. I'll remember it when I, like, actually bother looking it up later. But it gives me, like, those types of, map vibes.
That's fair. Especially with the kind of weird cut strips that this map has. Some uneven spacing in the beginning here, just to warm you up of what is about to happen in the remainder of the map. Starting off, 8 full combos still for everyone involved.
Yeah, okay, it was Koyomi Zakura. Is the map I was thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, But quarter of the way through this map, all 8 full combos still intact. Just a slight accuracy lead for Team Netherlands as Zubercat finds the first drop for Team Saudi Arabia. As we get a little bit of Bancho lag here. Hopefully, just Bancho lag and all. But 3 FCs versus 4. Dolter, KDE Star, Zubercat missing drops. We're dropping on that kind of awkward, cut stream pattern there. So FC advantage back in favor of Team Saudi Arabia. But the accuracy keeping the lead in Team Netherlands for the time being as Knight finds a drop. So it's only Maniavat left on the Hard Rock, the lone Hard Rock FC for Netherlands, while Call Me Red, 3BDO, and Rikiria holding on to the FCs third of the way through this map.
And hold they will very, very decently right now. 3 full combos on the board with 1 for Netherlands. Very good start for them. But the second guy is hitting soon enough. Rikira will be the first one to find the miss right before it. G-Star the second. And now it's down to 2v1. Call Me Red and 3BDO against Manievat. Who can survive?
The full combos are looking ever so comfortable on this, though. Call Me Red just dropping below 99. 3BDO, mid 98%. Maniavat above that 99 has the highest score in this lobby on this map so far, but when you're against 2 full combos by yourself and just a slight supporting combo from Knight, it's just not going to be enough. You need to see drops from both of the FCs from Team Saudi Arabia. There's one of them. 3BDO finds a miss aim on the slider, but combos are pretty much equal across the board. Call Me Red, Maniavat matching FCs. Rikuria just trailing behind Knight. Slight combo advantage to Team Netherlands, but not enough for Netherlands to bring this back with only a quarter of this map remaining as is.
Now going into the last section, it's just jumps after jumps. But calm me red, cool, calm and collected, dissecting this the last few patterns, finally finding a miss on the spike, showing that he is human. But 220k lead, it's just not going down fast enough.
Yeah, Manyavat broke right at the start of the last Ki on the 1/3 slider jumps. Rikiria drops that big combo, but there's just not enough time for Team Netherlands to bring it back. Valiant effort from Knight to hold the combo into the ending, but better overall performance from Team Saudi Arabia on this pick. And the precision works once again in their favor, and they are going to take their pick and hope and look to take a point back on Netherlands' pick to hopefully tie it up 3-3. But they have to get there first. It's a 1-point deficit for the Saudis right now.
Netherlands. Oh boy. TT is wide open. Hatrock is gone. There's more of no mods and 2 more on free mods, you know. Oh, 3 we do. Just noticing a familiar name there, but yeah. DT2 might be the best choice, I feel. What do you think, Suikun?
I think the Netherlands probably should just pull out a DT2 here. I mean, you saw what, how
oh, DT1
insane,
is basically the same.
Played on, on fight. I respect the DT1 pick as well. It's less stamina intensive compared to, something like a DT2. But, the fastest map in the pool, it's 278 BPM after DT. Also one of the most mechanically difficult maps in the pool, just under 7 stars basically. So, I think this one also is equally solid pick here for the Netherlands. I do believe... No, not quite their last pick, I believe. I do believe if, it goes up to 4-3 for Saudi Arabia, that the Netherlands do have another pick after this. So not quite their last pick, but, I think a very solid pick to hopefully at least guarantee themselves, the tiebreaker at the very least in this matchup here.
Now, looking at the roster, I mean, should be the same players from before. I don't think speed players are that, that's solid to be interchangeable with each other. Sometimes you just have the 4 guys that tap very fast. And there it is, ice never open for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia hoping to, take a break point on this pick to tie things up. Netherlands going back to kind of what was in their pick strategy and thinking, this is their next best pick to, hopefully be able to force the tiebreaker at the very least. Manyavat, Knight, Draconia, KDU star for Team Netherlands, Call Me Red Eyes never open, 3v2, and Not Mage for Team Saudi Arabia. Good lucks seem to be coming out. We're going into map number 6 here.
And here we go. Already
if no
going
mod 5
in.
is... Oh, I'm sorry. If no mod 5 is any indication of what happened, I think it's probably gonna go the same way, but you never know.
Yeah, but Nomad 5, it's both raw speed and stamina. This one is purely on your bursting capability. So Netherlands, they gotta stay consistent with that one aspect. 3B2 finds the miss, but not before not Mage, Manyevat, and KTG Star. Very early on, and this map is very dense and jam-packed with combos, so not too big of a deal. But this map is also very short, where another break won't matter, and not Mage will be the first one to miss after a while.
Yeah, 2 FCs versus 2, better supporting combo and just combo advantage overall on the side of Team Netherlands. Manyevat drops the supporting combo, not an FC though for Team Netherlands, and that support is traded out with not Mage, so pretty much everything dead even as Eyes Never Open drops one of the FCs for Team Saudi Arabia, and now things are looking dire for them on this DT1.
Here it will stay. This is not looking like the best one, but we're half of way there, and 200k is actually not too much of a big deal when you're playing in a DT slot. Libido and Call Me Rat still trying to ward off Draconia and Knight, but KDG Star with the supporting combo just making all of the difference for Netherlands right now.
Yeah, we're now halfway through this map into this slower section. Hopefully nobody breaks here, but all things even, Netherlands continuing to build up a very sizable score lead. Players can see, you know, each other's scores at the break here, and you know, the double FC is still intact for Team Netherlands. Eyes Never Open dropping on the slider right after the break, and I think this lead might just be insurmountable at this point, BlankTap.
It is just that, and as Call Me Rat drops, it's only the reverse shock run from 3BD to do any sort of damage, and yet Netherlands covered in Kevlar, none will touch their skin. 3BD goes down, and the two full combos of Netherlands still going on strong. Can they actually do it? The last few streams, it's still going on strong indeed, so we can...
Strong indeed, the double FC pretty much secured at this point. One final spinner to close it off. Draconia, what is that spin? 460. And another dominant performance from Team Netherlands on this DT pick. Double FC, very solid supporting combo from KD Yistar. And I mean, the scores from Saudi Arabia aren't even bad. Everybody over 500k. You have Call Me Red almost at 800. But not a lot you can do when you have a double FC and a near third FC from the side of Netherlands on this pick. And it's going to secure themselves match point and secure themselves, at the very least, the tiebreaker.
Yeah, their last pick, this is going to be very important now. Looking at the patterns for now, no mod 3, no mod 4, Hot Rock 2. They love getting into those consistent or very long maps with like some tricks behind them. But they're kind of running out, I feel, Suicon. There's just... every single one of these maps is very honest. And I don't think they want to go Hidden One. That's for sure.
Yeah, Hidden One might just be off the table. After what UC2 did to them on free mods, I don't know how viable free mods are either. Free mod 2 is, you know, free mod 2 is a lot more doable, I think, because, you know, anti-mod, you know, a lot easier on, you know, easy. I think it has, what is that easy multiplier? Yeah, only a 1.2 easy multiplier on free mod 2, but maybe Saudi Arabia have something up their sleeves, because,
this is one of
they
those...
They done darn did it, BlankTap. They picked the Hidden One.
Oh man, dude, the two parts. It's those two parts. And Saudi Arabia banking, praying to God that Netherlands gets smited by those two patterns. Silver 15, you've outdone yourself. Those two patterns are the worst patterns that could ever be mapped on any kind of tournaments. I don't know how you can get consistent at that.
If it's the two zigzag patterns you're talking about, that I'm thinking of, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You technically don't need a wiggle look. Technically speaking,
The last
you don't
part though,
need to.
I know it's the last part which is just like drives me insane. I hit it with 50% success rate, and it's annoying. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
That's just the intricacies of hidden flow aim. Sometimes you just don't know what you're doing wrong, and sometimes you just kind of have to suck it up. In Saudi Arabia, they're really hoping for some massive low rolls on the side of Team Netherlands to at least hopefully get a third point on the board or be eliminated from the tournament. We'll have to see, though. It's a very scary roster for Team Netherlands on this one. Saudi Arabia, they have to pull out all the stops on their final pick here. Good luck, have fun's coming out. Another short map. Respectfully so. I think UC2 is one of the players, you're going to keep your eye on this particular map, so... It's one of their bread and butter skill sets, BlankTap.
That man plays hidden. I know for sure. But yeah.
That man's better than me at hidden, I'm telling you.
Oh boy, okay, here we go. The dreadful hidden one. And already finding his first victim, Kira. Finding the first miss indeed for Saudi Arabia. Zoomer grab the second.
Yeah, this is looking rough for Rikuria. Just now going above the 80%. Zoomercat finding yet another drop, and already this is looking pretty grim. The Reaper is at death's door. Or I should say, Saudi Arabia at death's door by the hands of the Reaper.
Wait.
4 FC still quarter the way through for Team Netherlands.
Here we go. The first drop coming soon enough. The left and right going to the middle. Knight will be the first one to miss for Netherlands. But here comes the fun part. Knock knock. Who's there? It's this pattern. Call me Red hits it. And instantly a 1v1. There is opportunity right now.
Call Me Red does in fact hit UC2. Dolter drop the full combos. It's KDG Star versus Call Me Red. There's just no supporting combos from Saudi Arabia. The KD does drop though. Call Me Red. What can you do on this? You have to solo carry so incredibly hard on this. He's just looking so comfortable. 99.11% on this. But you have to hold for even longer. You cannot slip up this late into the map or you're just not going to get that score lead back. Keep holding. It's still doable. There's another zigzag pattern coming up sooner or later.
Here we go. Still going on strong, and he hits it! Call me Red when you're alone, when you're back against the wall. Will you surrender or will you win? And he said, voila! I will full combo hidden 1000 combo brings it back to their side. Oh my days! How does he do it, Seeker? How does a man 1v4 so consistently?
Absolutely stellar performance from Call Me Red. Keep in mind, Dolter and UC2 broke again in the end, but Dolter and UC2 both missed on that one zigzag pattern in the middle. If either one of them don't miss there, Saudi Arabia lose this pick. But they both miss. The clutch factor comes out for Saudi Arabia. It doesn't matter that Zoomercat and Rikuria drop, 366k and 381k. Call Me Red, 99.18% full combo, secures this point, and now they are at the mercy of Team Netherlands. If they want to play tiebreaker, if they want to have a chance in this tournament still, they have to get the break point back on Netherlands' final pick.
Oh, tough. Like, looking at the maps now, it might just be a DT2 angle, sadly. I cannot see any other pick. My eyes glued on Never Resort. This map, basically a bit of a side grade to DT1, not as burst intense. Okay, okay, Camera is already saying just pick the DT2 already. He knows. We all know. It's not DT2. What?
Or is it not?
Is it not? Yeah?
Is it not?
Is it not? Is it?
Are we mind gaming each other here?
That's true. Are we? We're just kind of waiting for it for the right time. Is it not, or is it? Vsauce. Michael here. Where's your fingers? Okay. But other than that, they are taking their time for no reason. Like we said it, DT2. Their opponent said it. It's DT2. Okay, it's DT2. Okay, dude. Okay.
Okay. There's the DT2. You know, I was half expecting to see Fremont 1 and the UC2 easy again, to be honest. But you know, the DT2 just makes a lot more sense here for Team Netherlands to hopefully close it out. They've had the lead pretty much the entire match after getting the early break point on Saudi Arabia's no on 3 pick, and looking like they're not willing to give it up at all. It's a very short DT finger control speed test. 243 BPM, lots of varying, you know, burst lengths in this map. Netherlands hoping to close this out cleanly. Saudi Arabia hoping for a miracle to force this match into Shadowmaker tiebreaker.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're gonna see some heavy lifting inside of Saudi Arabia, because Netherlands, they are so solid on these speed rosters.
Solid they are, and hoping to close it out. Manivant, Knight, Draconia, and KT G-Star in once again. Call Me Red, 3v2, Eyes Never Open, and Not Mage. They're gonna try their best, but if the Netherlands close it out cleanly, it's done and dusted for them. A good fight for both of these teams nonetheless. Here we go, map number 8. This could be the final map for this match. Could be the final map for Team Saudi Arabia in this tournament.
You can absolutely miss everywhere here, but you know, it's not the question of if you'll miss, it's how much you can recover from it. Draconia finding the first slider break, strangely enough, but 20k in the lead. Accuracy is already in the stark contrast.
Yeah, accuracy lead heavily in favor for Team Netherlands. Not Mage finding a drop. And we'll just have to see. You can see the finger control you need for this map. Lots of like quints into triples. And Netherlands
Oh, the front
actually
door!
struggling a little bit. Manivant, Knight, Draconia all down. It's only KD Star. Yeah, it's only 1 FC versus 3. We'll have to see how long Team Saudi Arabia are able to hold on this. They need to hold for a decent bit, because accuracies are way down for Team Saudi Arabia.
Draconia already saying sorry, and they still have the map to go, my guy. You can absolutely recover, but yeah, right now, 3 full combo on the board. Saudi Arabia. Mashallah, what is going on?
Looks like they could be doing it. The fat lady hasn't sung yet, though, BlankTap. It's never, it's not over until it is.
That's true.
3 FCs to 1 still.
Oh, the fat lady is singing. I feel the fat lady is singing for Saudi Arabia. Oh my days!
How do you hold that?
There's triple full comboing!
Okay,
finally!
Finally goes down, but there's just no support on the side of Team Netherlands. Manivant, Draconia have combo. But like, Saudi Arabia need to hold. They can't let up though. If they break, there's still time for Netherlands to bring this back, I fear.
Yeah, there is some time, but you know, there's just not much of it. And while it's going down, while it's draining, Saudi Arabia will plug the hole, preventing more leakage of happening. Because 3v2 Kamiran has forced Tiebreaker! Oh my god!
They actually darn did it. Saudi Arabia with one of the most unexpected, I think, for at least for me, one of the most unexpected breakpoints on this. The double FC to secure themselves tiebreaker, getting a crucial breakpoint on Netherlands DT2. A pick that seems so solid for them, just gone by the wayside, and we get yet another match that goes to tiebreaker. Shadowmaker from Apocalyptica, mapped by Pishy Fat. If you've played this map, if you've never seen this map, it is one of the maps of all time. So many different skill sets, so many different BPM changes. Always have to stay on your toes on this one. Awkward aim, full screen aim, 1/3 jumps, fast bursts, it throws the entire kitchen sink at you. We are going to be seeing timeouts from at least Team Saudi Arabia on this one after this initial timer here. BlankTap, oh, this match has been delivering.
Oh my goodness, man. I mean, yeah, I'm just speechless, you know? Like, we were all just expecting, yeah, DT2, damn, GG, go next, Saudi Arabia. Pleasure having you guys here, you know, but sadly it's a 0-2 angle. But no, they said no. And now they're here in tiebreaker, Shadowmaker. The most, it's a tiebreaker for all time. We all know it. Dude,
oh my days. I am so excited to see this one. We have seen so many tiebreakers this weekend, and I mean, like, I think this would be tiebreaker number 4, I think, this weekend? Yeah, because we've seen it in Sweden, China, Russia, Taiwan, Argentina, Turkey. So, you know, it's going to be an insane... It's already an insane weekend enough as is. If Saudi Arabia wins this one as well, it's going to be an upset victory. You know, seed 29 versus seed 20 on this one. The Netherlands, they don't want to drop out this early in the tournament. They want to, you know, they want to move on. Statistically speaking, by their seeding, they should be able to move on from here. It's just Saudi Arabia have put up such an impressive fight over this match. Saudi Arabia's timeout is now in session. Netherlands are also asking for a timeout as well. So we're going to be seeing the whole 6 minutes before playing Shadowmaker. This is going to be a very tense, you know, pre-game on this one.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, a bit of a interesting thing is that we can slightly reflect back on probably the number 3 Netherlands, much more consistent at that, but lots of those very big snaps, and we've seen what Saudi Arabia can do when it truly matters. When everyone crumbles, they stay solid and they still fight back. This map is everything that they need right now. It's the high skill cap, the ever so needed consistency that you'll have to do to clutch it up. This is Saudi Arabia's just straight up win condition, I feel. But Netherlands, again, this is assuming that Saudi Arabia can actually clutch it up, because Netherlands, they are solid no matter what. So if Saudi Arabia does not stay on their A game, Netherlands can take it any time of the day. There's
Crucially,
no one in the lobby.
Yeah, crucially throughout this match though, BlankTap, the only real, like, aim mechanics map we have seen is that DT1. We haven't really seen any, like, aim mechanics at all. There is a lot of, you know, awkward aim, you know, in this map. Netherlands banned out the Hard Rock 1. That is probably the closest map in this pool that kind of resembles any sort of, like, awkward aim that, you know, Shadowmaker offers, and there's a lot of aim in this. Saudi Arabia did lose that DT1, but I argue more so because of how fast, you know, that DT1 was, rather than, you know, the aim strain of it overall. So, have to see how well these players do mechanically on this. You can hear in this song just how varied, the skill sets can become, how insanely, like on the flip of a switch, you need to be proficient at a completely different skill set in this map. We see players from Team Netherlands slowly filing into this lobby. Members on Team Saudi Arabia probably doing whatever they can to practice. With the full 6 minutes that we have before this map, it is a lot of time to practice a good portion of this map. It's not enough to practice the entire map. It's a 7-minute and 11-second tiebreaker after all. But 6 minutes with 2 timeouts and the initial 2-minute ready timer means there's a lot of practice, a lot of just being able to familiarize yourself with the patterns in this map before you go into this tiebreaker. The nerves have to be so high for both of these teams.
Absolutely, and time is ticking. There's only one part that I'm fearing, and that's like on the long full Kiai middle part. The rest is free money for these players, but that middle part, the make or break point of this not only tiebreaker but match. This is the only map that will matter from here on out. A best of 1 on Shadowmaker. Rikira, 3Bidu, Sumercat, and Kalmirat for Saudi Arabia. Knight, Dolter, UC2 probably going to use Hidden on this, and Manievat for Netherlands. Good luck, have fun has been uttered. May the best team survive.
It is so incredibly tense. The players, they're ready to go. You said it, BlankTap. It's kind of expecting, a UC2 hidden. The comfort mod. There it is.
Dolter, though.
Dolter with the hidden as well. That one I was not expecting. So the mod advantage already heavily in favor of Team Netherlands. We'll have to see. Very slow intro to start things off. There are sections of this map that, do have, free combo. But otherwise, remain on your toes, players.
A nice, comfortable, soft, mellow start for everyone. Just to take it in, to take in all of the pressure, all of the expectation. Everyone's cheering for their respective team. And now, the spotlight is on for all 8 of our players here. 4 for Saudi, 4 for Netherlands. Slight lead for Saudi as we start ourselves off.
No
Very
breaks early on. Yeah. Accuracy advantage in favor of Team Saudi Arabia. As we get into this first little alt section here, 3Bidu, the first person to find a break, misaims a slider head, traded shortly after by Knight.
The pressure getting onto them. And even it will stay for a longer while now. Sumercat will be the second one to miss for Saudi Arabia. 2v3 situation as 3Bidu finding yet again another slider break. Now once again just a slow jump, the left to the right.
Still early days though. This very slight score lead the Team Netherlands have, but not even a quarter of the way into the map. There's still so much to go as we get into the first real difficult section of this map. Larger snap alt patterns. Sumercat finding a few more drops. There's the first of some of the faster bursts in this map. Everybody else still holding on relatively well though. It's still the 4 FCs. Knight's break earlier was actually a Bantro miss. So it's 4 FCs to 2 right now in favor of Team Netherlands on this tiebreaker.
And it will stay that way for a bit longer. Some ulti section here, a bit tricky on this one, but no one finding the miss. The steps gonna get even faster. 100k in the lead for Netherlands, and they are still going on strong. 0 misses, 0 mistakes, 0 cracks. The snaps catching them all off guard. It's only Knight against Call Me Red and 3B2 once again back into the ring.
This is huge for Team Saudi Arabia. 5-way break, 3 FCs down for Team Netherlands. But crucially, Call Me Red, 3B2 still holding on to sizable combos as we get into this little bit of a speed up section here. Next intense section coming up. Everybody except Rikiria hitting that accelerating stream. 3B2 fighting an early tap. The nice side break. And there's no combos for the side of Team Netherlands. Maniavat also drops the FC from Call Me Red, the supporting combo, the reverse stroke from 3B2 in this fast slider section. Still holding on. The 1/3 jump aim coming up soon. Here it is, BlankTap.
Side to side, bit awkward, bit tricky, that's for sure. But 3B2 and Call Me Red, they have been here before. They've been absolutely practicing their hearts off. This is it, the culmination of their hard work through all of these matches. 1300 combo and 1000 combo alike. It's going down 15, 13, 12, 10. It's going to go to the 4th digit now. Soon enough, the 3 digit. But this is the hardest part. The triples, the burst, the doubles, everything in between. And yet, nothing is stopping them. For they are them. For D is red. Oh my god.
He holds through that section. 3B2 might have dropped that supporting combo, but Call Me Red still untouched, still looking ever so strong and mighty in this matchup. David might be looking up to Goliath right now and saying, "Your seeding does not matter. I am here to play." Maniavat trying their darndest to try to keep this even remotely close for Team Netherlands, but the longer Call Me Red holds, the worse it gets for Team Netherlands. Their odds looking ever so grim in this matchup here.
Bit of an awkward jump here, still very scary to see. Definitely the nerves coming in very much. He knows that he holds the key to Saudi Arabia moving forward into the bracket. He does not want to stop here. He's gonna keep going and no one is gonna stop him. He gets to decide when he's done, and he has decided that he is not yet finished. 2000 combo will be reached soon enough. Going to the final awkward jump. Call Me Red. Everyone's watching. Everyone's witnessing. Everyone is here to see you, to perform, to see you turn everything red. And he is still climbing up and up and up. He hits it!
This is one of the performances of all time in this tournament, I feel like. I don't know if anybody's even come remotely close to Call Me Red's performance on this map so far. The flow aim section in this one, Call Me Red still holding the support from Rikiri as well, but it's all eyes on Call Me Red into the final quarter. We get a slow section here. The players can see in these quick break sections, Call Me Red still holding on to that FC, looking ever so unstoppable. The 200,000 score lead in favor of Saudi Arabia. Call Me Red looking unstoppable. Nothing that the Netherlands team can do at this point. It might be 800 combo on Dolter, it might be 800 combo on Knight, but nothing you can do that will not stop Call Me Red. Completely unmatched as we get into this ending here. The free combo, the slow section here, Call Me Red put icing on the cake for this one.
The throne seems to be big enough for 2 kings. Sila has seen this. Call Me Red is right there. All he needs to do is to step into the throne and obtain his royalty status. Man, what a journey it has been for Saudi Arabia in this match. Accepting their fate on the DT2 pick, and yet they rise like the phoenix. Call Me Red. Oh man. What a play. What a damn play. Saudi Arabia wins the tiebreaker 5-4. Good game and well played.
And so it has been done. Call me Red with the outstanding full combo, 98.23% FC to finish it off. And Saudi Arabia, they complete the upset. They get the breakpoint they need, and they slay the Netherlands team. They eliminate them from this year's iteration of 4-digit World Cup. Saudi Arabia, they get to move on after a very well-fought matchup here. They move on to losers round 2, and they move on next week. Let me see who they're going to be facing, but well done to Team Saudi Arabia. Commiserations to the Netherlands squad. We hope to see them once again next year or the next iteration of this tournament.
Man, I mean, I'm still in shock. what a ton of event. That was something. And indeed, despite it being cinema, that is it for this match. If we have to see the schedule, I kind of lost the schedule. Help me out here, so we can. What other matches are we gonna see later?
Later today, after this. Oh, do you ever schedule back?
Yeah, okay. I have schedule.
Let's go.
15 UTC, Germany against Finland, casted by Amasit and Flo Florian. So stay tuned, that will be for the A stream. For the B stream, sometime about 17 UTC for Kazakhstan against Spain, and that will be casted by Nef and Yeo. But that is all for this one. Once again, congratulations to Saudi Arabia. I've been BlankTap. I'm my boss Sui Country. We bid you guys farewell. Take care.
See you all in 45 minutes on the A stream.